So what's up, fellow beach bums? I appreciate you guys stopping by because I got a great one for this week. It's something that I'm really excited about building because I plan on getting a lot of use out of it. So especially with this warm weather coming, and it's already dang hot as crap here. I don't know about your neck of the woods, but yeah, I'm country now. I don't know about your neck of the woods, but it's dang hot down here in South Florida. Shoot. But stay tuned, I'm gonna show you what I end up building. That's right. So what is cooler than, get it? Cooler. Than a box made of pallet wood that you put your cooler into and it holds your beer. That is just awesome. Okay, as far as supplies go for this project, all I pretty much needed was just pallets. I went ahead and broke down the pallets into individual planks. I have the center sections all broke down, which are just the 2x4 sections, which on these pallets they worked out good because they're just solid 2x4s. They're not the ones that have the cutouts for where the forks can go into. So that works out great because I'm going to really need those to build the frame of the cooler box. Inside, obviously you need a cooler. I just have a 48 quart cooler, which is just a simple basic cooler, which I think it'll make it easier for framing it out since it's just a basic square. So I have that. All right, so the first thing I need to do is go ahead and get this cooler prepped. I need to take the handles off and take the rubber hinges off. And that'll basically have the cooler set up, ready to go to be framed out. So I'm not worried about attaching the cooler or anything at this point. I just need to get the dimensions of the frame, and then I'll kind of worry about setting the cooler in and getting it attached later on. Alright, so I just finished up building the base, the frame part. Now I'm going to move on to adding the pallet boards to the top. I want to go ahead and do this before I actually put the cooler and everything in there, because what's going to happen is I'm going to attach these and then I'll trace an outline of the actual cooler and then take a jigsaw and just cut a hole so that I'll be able to raise and lower the actual cooler's top lip to determine how high I need it, so that once everything's done and I have a wooden frame built around here and everything, it'll fit nice and flush down onto the cooler. So once I get this attached and then I cut a hole, I'll be able to add spacers down here on the bottom that'll allow the cooler to sit on. What in the world are you talking about? Okay, so I just finished attaching the top. Now I'm going to get the dimensions for the hole that I'm going to cut. So I'm just using the top because it's the same size on the outside as the actual cooler. So I'm just going to trace an outline, take a jigsaw, and actually cut the hole out so then the bottom portion of the cooler can, from the bottom, fit up to this top level nice and flush. Alright, so I just finished putting the cooler in, and I think it turned out really good. You know, it fits nice and tight, it's really flush, just the way I wanted it. But I haven't quite attached it yet because I'm actually going to take it back out because I want to work on the base, and leaving the cooler in for right now and attaching it would just be in the way, because you know, I don't plan on doing, the easiest way to do this would just be to take the pallet wood and just put it on the outside like this, you know, and just go down. That's the easiest way, you know, and you can just attach it with a hammer and nails or a screw gun. But I want to do something a little different. I want to take a piece of thin plywood and actually put it behind here, so it kind of has like a little bit of a canvas area right here, and then use something with the pallet wood to do something kind of decorative. I just think it'll be cool and a little more challenging than just attaching it to the outside. So alright, so I got the panels cut. Now I just need to attach them. I'm just going to use a nail gun and just get these attached to the inside. Okay, so this is what I came up with as far as an idea on how to brace this cooler. I didn't actually screw anything into the cooler, so it worked out really good. But all I did was I just had two 2x4s. I built this little thing first, and then I slid it in here and then put pressure on the cooler, and you can see those little tabs, you know, from where the handles were. They worked out perfect because it limited how far it could go up, and I was able just to put enough pressure on the bottom with this brace to where those tabs were touching the pallet wood on the top. Okay, so now it's time just to build the lid. And what I did was I took some of the 2x4 that I had from the pallets, and I just cut the length from the front and the back, and somehow it worked out that whatever I cut off, the remaining part of the 2x4 fit perfectly on the ends. So I didn't have to do another cut or measurement. So I have it framed out. Now I'm just gonna basically build this together. I'm gonna attach all the 2x4s so it's nice and snug around the lid. And then I'm gonna use some screws and actually attach it to the lid so that when it opens and everything, you know, this part is attached to the lid and it opens just fine. So I'm ready to get started on finishing up these panels, and what I ended up doing was I took pieces of pallet board and I cut several of them with like a wavy pattern. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of just a wavy pattern, and I cut it just one continuous piece. And then I took some other pieces of pallet board and just cut them down into a bunch of little strips, and then I cut them into little pieces, just basically little blocks. So I have a big stack of blocks, and what I plan on doing is just taking some glue, and I actually got some waterproof wood glue, because this is going to be something that's outside and it's going to have ice in it and drinks and stuff like that. So just to be on the safe side, I went ahead and got some waterproof glue, and I'm just going to kind of basically stack them up like I'm, you know, doing bricks or something. I'm just going to stack these up, no certain pattern or anything, and then every so often I'll have a layer with the wavy pattern on top of it like that, and I'm just going to go up, do all the sides like that. Should look pretty cool. Alright, so I just finished up the front and the sides, and I wanted to show you guys how I was going to do the back. So I was going to do it a little different. And this is just basically a really easy way to wrap the cooler, you know, because I mentioned in the beginning how the simplest way would just have been to use the pallets and just go on the outside and just screw them or nail them in. But I did these recessed panels, and then on the back side, this is just a really simple way. All I did was take the pallets, cut them down into these little strips, and then I'm just going to glue them on. And it's not going to take really any time at all. So that's it. Had to add my BeachBumLivin tag on it, of course. But yeah, so once I get done with this panel, I'll be done with these, and then I can move on to the next thing. Okay, so I'm pretty much done with the cooler, but I was really feeling like it needed a place to where you could set like cases of beer waiting to be added to the inside of the cooler. So I've decided to build a shelf, and what I've come up with is to use piping. So I have this like piping material right here, and the idea is just to have these two longer pieces of pipe just running along the bottom, just wide enough to where you can set a case of beer. So I'm going to go ahead and build this, attach it to the cooler. Alright, so I just finished up the shelf, got that all mounted, looking awesome. I was thinking about painting it black, but after having it mounted, I'm just going to leave it bare metal. It looks real industrial and just pretty dang awesome if you ask me, so I'm just going to leave that. So I got that taken care of. Went ahead and put a layer of exterior clear coat on it just to protect it, just in case it gets wet. So I just want to have that on there. Got two things left to do. I got this mountable bottle opener that's just powder coated black, and it has the recycle emblem etched into the top, which looks pretty awesome. I'm just going to mount that right here, nice and convenient location. And then lastly, I have this copper hand stamped BeachBumLivin established 2012 little plaque that I'm going to mount right here on the top. So I'm going to knock those two things out, and then I'll be done with this project, and it'll be time to use this bad boy. Man, it's getting kind of warm.
Life is good, it is good to me, and it was meant for you to live and be free, to live and be free. Walk the path, take some time to laugh. And maybe it's been a while, but even try to smile, even try to smile. 'Cause today is only here and then it's tomorrow.